Hello and welcome. It's Matthew David, the minister of Allow Ministries. And you can see my environment here. I'm out and about doing my thing. So I'm going to just do my transmission from right here tonight. And we're going to talk about programming your mind for prosperity, for money. People need money. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it doesn't really matter if it's money or if it's health or relationships. You really have one of three things going on. It's always money, health, or relationships. And we're going to talk about what to do for all of them, how to program what's going on up here so you can get all that accomplished. So I'm going to just wait and see who's coming on board here. And if you come on board, just give me a hello. Let me know you're here. And that way I can know that we can begin and we can start making this transmission. So I don't see anybody on the board yet, but I am going to talk about something I work from every day. And I use this playbook. I use the playbook here because the playbook gives me the opportunity to control my morning and to also track and to measure results, because I think in life results matter, and it also gives me a functional system that I get to use to create what I want to create. And so I'm going to talk to you about part of that tonight. So hello Kathy, hello Abel and Judy, good to see you guys on board here. And I'm going to talk to you about something that, you know, is not so controversial. It's more in the box, but it's very powerful. It's something that you have access to. It's your imagination. Hey, Bill, your imagination is more powerful than you know. And your unconscious mind is something you're going to want to get compliance with, because you're getting about 15,000 messages a day that are influencing you, and mostly not in a positive way. You're not being programmed for success by default. You're going to have to take the driver's wheel to program yourself for success. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to become conscious that the words that you speak out of your mouth repetitively are creating everything in your life. So I'm going to give you some stories of how that worked in my life and how the breadcrumbs laid it out quickly. I'm not going to spend the whole time telling you stories, but what I want to do is I want to tell you how I discovered this, how it works, why it works, and what you can do systematically to create the most effect possible within the next 30 days. So if you want to get serious about it, you might not have one of these if you haven't been to one of our workshops, Spiritual Millionaire Workshop. But if you do have one, you want to keep track and you want to be accountable to something so that you're not just winging it, you're not guessing it. So what I'm referring to here is the gratitude session in the evening that we fill out. And what I recommend is in the evening, when you're doing your gratitude, it's one of the most powerful times that you can program yourself for prosperity or anything. And there's a real critical part of that process. Right before you fall asleep, you go into a theta brainwave. So theta brainwaves are a lower brainwave than the high beta that most people are in all day long. That's a stress brainwave. That's a lot of reasoning. You know what reasoning is? That's the thinking capacity that we use. We run a lot of high beta brainwaves when we're in that faculty. And so we want to bring it down a bit. And right before you go to bed, you drop from theta to delta. You're very amenable to suggestion at that point. Like your walls are down. And it's a very critical time to take advantage of programming yourself for what you want to create. And don't overlook this, because here's the thing. I've done this in my life so many times, and I've always created amazing results when I take conscious effort to do it. But when I get lazy, like most people do, we all get lazy because we build habits. And so we get a little bit out of our good habits because things in life pull us out of it, you know, and then all of a sudden, before we know it, life is like, whoa, like, how come I'm not excited anymore? What's going on? It's because we're not consciously programming. Like I said, if you don't program, the default program will pull you in. It will suck you in. And the default program is mostly catastrophic for your prosperity. All high achievers pretty much have a system that they're accountable to. And they take control of their morning, they take control of their evening, and they track and measure their results that they're getting, and then they adjust accordingly. And so if you just follow a few simple, basic guidelines, and you do exactly what I'm going to tell you to do for the next 30 days, sorry, I got a little sniffle here. It's still winter out here. If you do exactly what I'm going to tell you to do, and I'm not telling you as in, I'm talking to myself in front of you. I'm telling me to do this. I want to be humble with you. For as good as I've done in life, and as well as some of the results I've had, life is never perfect for anybody, because we're always in a human, apparently in a human form, and we're always going to go through contrast. And I'm ready to buckle down and to create again. And so I've done this several times, and I know it works every time. And I want to teach it to you because you might be ready to do the same. So I'm assuming you've got the other parts that I've taught you down, the 3, 2, 1. You know about breaking the sacred 10th, putting up the substance, honoring God, knowing that it's not your works that does the heavy lifting. It's really the grace of God that gives you the bounty, because it's already here. The full blessing's already here. And then non-judgment is number 2. I'm assuming you know that you're not casting judgments on other people. And I'm assuming that you're learning how to follow your joy. That's the 3, 2, 1 at my website, MatthewDavidHurtado.com. If you don't know that, just go and learn that, because what I'm going to tell you now is, those are the habits that you want. What I'm going to tell you now are things that you can do to really throw some gas on the fire, to really make sure that things start popping for you. Because I know some people are stuck and they're not living the life they want to live. So I want to show you how to change that real fast and how to get serious about it. Just like you would if you had to lose weight and you made a gym routine and you decided, I'm going to go to the gym and this is my results, this is my diet plan, and it's all going to come together. So when I first discovered this, quick story, I'm going to show you the story of how I know this to be true. I was 12 years old. My grandfather passed away. I was just going into my age 13 at the time. And that was my second father that left my life. I got really frustrated. I developed acne all over my face. And the acne was so bad that, I was hideous. People laughed at me. Nobody wanted to hang around me. I was in a very isolated position. So I spent months getting upset about it, and I started speaking all this evil about myself, and I thought evil about myself, and I was doing everything polar opposite of what I will tell you to do. And then one day on the hill, I heard a voice. I literally heard the voice of God.
Hello, it's Amanda with Alpha Upgrade and Allow Ministries. Are you stuck in your finances, health, or relationships? Feeling burnt out, tired, even defeated? Like you're older than you thought you'd be at this point in your life? International #1 best-selling author Matthew David Hurtado was bedridden and bankrupt in 2009 with Lyme disease. After gaining a full recovery and building multiple 7-figure businesses, Matthew teaches biblical secrets of the ages that work, regardless of age, social status, or belief in competition. During the Spiritual Millionaire Workshop 5.0 in May, Matthew will release his new book, Gold Rule, for attendees who attend this life-changing training. Why should you attend? You're being programmed by 15,000 messages a day if you live in the USA. You need a vibrational weapon, like self-entrainment technique, to produce an immediate shift in consciousness and sustain it, raising your frequency. Whether you can attend or not, head over to gold-rule.com and opt in to get a free pre-release digital copy of Gold Rule. Gold Rule is the answer to clarity, focus, and a proven action-based guide to getting everything you desire. Go to gold-rule.com and claim your pre-release copy now.
At age 12, 13, whatever it was between 12, 13, I heard the voice of God. And the voice told me to say it how I wanted it to be. I heard it in my head. I've heard the voice of God twice in my life, in my head, audible. So I said, say it how I want it to be. And then I thought, well, gosh, it just clicked in that moment. All I had been doing was talking about how bad it was, how much I hated myself, how much I was ugly, how much nobody liked me. And all I was doing was spewing all of that based on the emotional stuff that I felt inside. I felt so much hard, painful emotions that I kept speaking all that out. And then this voice says, say it how you want it to be. And I said, okay. And because I heard it, I just instantly grabbed onto that. And I said, well, I'm gorgeous. I just pulled that out. I was like, I'm gorgeous. Because I had heard, girls at that time were calling some guy on TV gorgeous. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the word means at age 12. I just thought it means something I want it to be. And so I said, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous. I counted it on my hands. And every time that I had that negativity come upon me, that feeling place where I felt just insurmountable odds against me, like no matter how hard I tried, that wasn't going away, that acne was not leaving. When I felt that place, that reality came upon me, I just paused. I said, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous. I just kept using my word to change my mind. Now that is a spiritual truth, and that just stumbled into my life at that age. Well, to make a long story short, within a year or less, about half a year, every girl that I knew wanted to date me in my world. My world changed because your world is an output projection of your consciousness. I literally became what I spoke. I became it at that age when I needed it the most. I needed it and I got it because I spoke it. So here's the lesson. If you have a financial problem, if you have a health problem, if you have a relationship problem, you allegedly have a problem. What you have is you have a consciousness, you have a belief. You are experiencing the outpicturing of something that you have picked up along the way from someone else or a perception or a judgment that you made. That is showing itself to you. The only way you're going to change that permanently is through your tongue, because it's not what goes in the mouth that defiles the man, it's what comes out of the mouth. And it's also what comes out of the mouth that creates and changes the mind. It renews the mind. It'll renew your mind. So if you have a financial problem, I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams, 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 I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. Of course it sounds stupid to your mind. Your mind will tell you that this is nonsense. It'll tell you that you're out of your mind. Day one, you'll want to quit. I promise you. Because you won't see results day one. You'll think it's complete waste of your time. Day 3, if you're still on board by day 3, you might have a chance. Chances are most people won't get past day 1. And that's why most people will never be successful in life. I repeat, most people will never experience success in their life. Now, if you're here listening to me, the chances are good that you will last and you'll do this. I promise you, it cannot fail. Because every word out of the mouth of God is creative and it never comes back void. Well, if you realize that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, that there is no other source of any power whatsoever, that God is all in all, and then you also realize that 3 human beings can fit on the head of a pin if you take the empty space out of them, that they're 99.99997% empty space, you're not even here. It's an illusion. It's a grand illusion. The only physical thing in the universe is the spoken word. I've said it time and time again. The only physical thing in the universe is the spoken word. Period. You are living in the universe that your words created. I'll even go as bold to say that. Now, it's not the slip up every now and then when you get a little moment of rage and you say something that you shouldn't say. It's the repetitive track that keeps going on over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's the dominant thought pattern. It's the scale. The weight on the heavier side of the scale is going to pull it over. So what I want you to do is I want you to come up with something. See, here's the spiritual principle that this is how it works. Since there is no material life, there is no physical reality. What you have is you have an idea of a problem. It's a deficiency, okay, from lack of knowledge of the Father, okay? It's a deficiency. It's ignorance made manifest through fear. That's what you have in your life. The only way you're going to change it is through the power of God, which is in the tongue, speaking and pouring forth into that deficiency of what that deficiency needs in order to become whole again. That's the spiritual principle. That's how it works. How long do you have to do it for? Fast forward, and I did it again. When I was coming out of Lyme disease, my mentor was very smart at the time, very wise, and he told me, listen, you keep talking about how bad it is. That's why you keep getting it that way. He goes, from now on, the only words coming out of your mouth is money flows freely and easily to me now, period. End of discussion. He goes, I don't care if you're at the store buying yourself a coffee. He goes, you're going to say, here's my $5, money flows freely and easy to me now. Every time you look at a bill, money flows freely and easy to me now. Every time you touch money, money flows freely and easy to me now. I did it. I did exactly what he said. I did exactly what he said. Within 3 months, my whole world was completely different. 6 months, 6-figure income, 7-figure income, a couple years later. Does it work? Absolutely. Okay, so that's the power of your words. Now, you will only speak according to your self-image. So what you're going to need is you're going to need something to change your self-image in conjunction with this. And so what I recommend is I like to use 432 hertz. I tune it down. I tune my audios down to 432 hertz when I am working through something stuck in my life. I learned this from Dr. Hammer, German New Medicine. When you are stuck in your life at some position, you use a 432 hertz, 440, tune it down to 432. What that does is it pulls you out of the turmoil that the mind has created surrounding that condition that you are living in.
Are you feeling embarrassed and stuck because you can't focus or concentrate? I have a confession to make. I spent years unable to think clearly, like I was in a fog. I was going through the motions, running my companies, and I hated feeling groggy and mentally sluggish. I couldn't get ahead like this. It's no secret, the powers that be want us dumbed down. Chemicals, fluoride, our brains are under siege, and we are experiencing lower IQs. But now there's a weapon to fight back and win. Introducing DNA Evolve, a revolutionary breakthrough in a category of cognitive enhancers called nootropics. I've been using DNA Evolve and couldn't feel better. For me, it works. It feels great to get things done again and get ahead. Try a free sample for yourself at DNAEvolveSample.com. That's DNAEvolveSample.com. Supplies are limited, so go to DNAEvolveSample.com right now.
Okay? So that's important to understand. You're going to pull yourself out of that turmoil. Now, I might have to move here. There's some people up there that are making noise, just so you know, so I have to move. Now, anyway, what you want to do is before you go to bed, you want to visualize when you're starting to go into that theta realm, theta brainwave state. You want to start mentally inserting yourself into, remember the deficiency you had here? and you started to speak the words to fill the deficiency? Well, you want to imagine yourself filling the deficiency too, as being the person who you would be if you were on the other side of the problem. Now, if you don't know how to do that, just do the ABC break process, and you can learn that in my book, Allow. And you can go to MatthewDavidHurtado.com and get that book. Otherwise, you can text the number 608, okay, area code 608 530 6658. And you can text Allow to that, and you can get the book sent right to your smartphone, right there, right to your smartphone. Now, the other thing you can do is, if you want to text the word to the same number, 608 area code 530 6658, text the word trance. I will give you what I just created for myself. I just created, I took a downloadable trance music, which tends to put me into a theta brainwave real quick. And I sent it to my audio engineer, and I had him tune every song down to 432 hertz, the whole playlist, 2 hours of music. So I've got 2 hours of my favorite music that I'll use like when I'm running and I'm lifting sometimes, but mostly I'll use it when I'm going to bed. And what I'll do is I will visualize myself filling the deficiency that I see in that part of my life. An example would be this. You know, let's say you want to build a company, and you want to build a bigger company than you have now. Perfect example. Well, what I'll do is I will step into being the person who already has it when I'm in that theta brainwave. And I'll start to live from that perspective every night as I drift off to sleep. And you don't have to do this forever. You only have to do it for a long enough time until the unconscious mind grabs it. And it will, because the mind likes to make shortcuts. It'll grab a hold of the idea. And you will see yourself starting to act from that place throughout the day after a few days of doing this. And then as you start to act from that place, you will start to generate more and more momentum, because your vibration is going to change. And then as you speak only of what you are choosing to create, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable because you're going on all cylinders. You're using all of your spiritual gifts to create with all of the talents that you have, because everything is a seed. How you show up in the world with your attitude towards life is a seed. What you speak is a seed. This is stuff that I've done repeatedly, okay? It works every single time. These are powers that you were endowed with from the beginning. This is how it's done. This is how simple it is, but you have to do it. You have to be accountable to something outside of yourself, because human instinct is to do everything but. Human instinct is to do 3 + 3 = anything but 6. That's human instinct, okay? 3 + 3 is anything but 6. That's your human instinct, because hue is the coloring of the manifestation, which is built on corrupt language. I can tell you for an hour why all this came to be, why everything's so upside down, but instead I want to just tell you why you're not going to succeed because of instinct, but how to turn it all around so that you will succeed. So here's what you do. Be accountable to something and give yourself 30 days and commit to a strategy, not an emotional push-pull situation that's going to go on inside of you, because you are going to hit the terror barrier by about day 5 at the latest, okay? When you start to do this, your ego is going to act up. Your ego is going to say no, because the ego's job is to keep you in a box. Okay, your reality, everything that fits in your reality, your income, your relationships, your health, everything you have is in a box. Your ego created that box. You live through a persona that projects that reality out into your universe. Now, the fastest way to get anything you want is to start surrounding yourself by people who already have it. And the reason why is because their words, right, are going to get in your head, and you're going to start speaking the same thing they speak because they're going to become minds mingle. Okay, that's what happens. And it's the power of association. That's what happens. That's what's actually happening is the minds mingle and the words start lining up. And then you start trying to act like them because you are having an affinity with them because you become who you hang around. And see, birds of a feather, that whole principle. But if you don't have access to that, this is how you're going to get access to that. You're going to create it because they don't exist. Remember, 3 humans fit on the head of a pin. The entire world is the size of a softball if you take the empty space out of it, according to quantum physics. They're not even here. This is all your belief made manifest. So what you're going to do is you're going to program it in before you go to bed. You're going to listen to something that's going to cause you to feel an emotion. You need to feel a very powerful emotion while you're imagining being at the solution that fills the deficiency, okay? The solution to the problem fills the deficiency. I am at the solution. I am the solution. You are the deity that you're seeking. You're it. So what you're going to do is as you drift off, you're going to step into being the person who has everything you ever wanted. The music is going to help you carry that emotion and emit it. And as you fall asleep, your unconscious mind is going to go to work on that for your benefit because it's your world inside of you. You create the world from within. Now, within about 5 days, the terror barrier is going to show up. Sometimes that happens within the first day for some people. As soon as your ego feels threatened because it knows that you're about to change the game, something's going to happen and you're going to start to find negativity coming into your life.
Hello, I'm Julie with Allow Ministries on behalf of Matthew David Hurtado. Are you ready to end self-sabotage, procrastination, and distraction? Clarity, certainty, and a proven plan of action is what it takes to get anything you want in life. Training is the answer. Matthew David Hurtado's Spiritual Millionaire Workshop is the one-step solution that finally puts you in control of your destiny. What Matthew discovered about building a 7-figure business and perfect well-being when he was bedridden and bankrupt with Lyme disease is that mentorship is success without the wait. It works. At allowuniversity.com, you'll discover how to walk in victory. Learn how to prosper in every area with unstoppable daily habits and a step-by-step training to build your dream business immediately following the event, a success training for a lifetime of achievement. Walk in financial increase, living a life you love. Go to allowuniversity.com and say yes to your destiny.
Usually it comes in the form of resistance. You're going to have to subvert that with the ABC break process. So you better learn it, MatthewDavidHurtado.com. You need to give your ego the slip and you need to just pop right into the solution because every time that resistance comes, you slip into the solution with the ABC break process and then you start to say whatever you programmed to say. And you keep saying it and saying it and saying it, saying it, saying it. 25 to 100 times every time, 25 times, just boom, boom, boom. Don't use willpower. Don't say, well, I am rich. Don't do that. Don't do that. Animal propensity, that's what willpower is. You're not an animal. Your word creates by itself. See, you want to remove your animal propensity out of it. You're not an animal, okay? Your flesh has no power. Your word is the power. So you don't have to do anything other than release the word, okay? So I'm rich beyond all the streams. Money flows freely and easily to me now. Money flows freely and easily to me now. Money flows freely and easily to me now. I'm healthy, strong, perfect. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day I'm getting better and better. Every day we're getting better and better. Whatever it is that you program, just boom, 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 boom. Just fire that thing off. And what'll happen is your mind will lay down. That's what healing is. Like you heal a dog, lay down. Your mind will lay down. And you will be renewed in a new spirit. A new spirit will renew you. You created it. If you're willing to commit to this, it's a short burst of concentration on being accountable to a system that you'll create. It's very simple. You have a problem that you perceive is bothering you, okay? I suggest you do two things tonight. I suggest you take the problem that's bothering you and you carry it forward to the nth degree. I suggest you feel the worst pain of it, okay? Make it hurt. Like if you don't change this problem, what's it going to cost you in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? If you don't change this problem, how's it going to affect everybody around you? Get serious about feeling the pain of this problem, okay? Pain, pleasure. You will move away from pain towards pleasure. As soon as you felt the pain of that problem, then I want you to come up with a spiritual antidote to that through your God power, which is your spoken word. As in present tense, I have now language. Not like I will be strong. No, I am strong. Not I will one day have money. No. I am rich. Money flows freely and easily to me now. You're going to start speaking that. And just like busting down the walls of Jericho in the Bible, you're going to go around and around that wall of your mind, and you're going to bust it with your words. And what'll happen, I promise you, is you will destroy that barrier within a short time, within a couple weeks. You will absolutely destroy those limitations. Just like I had never earned anything more than $50,000 a year prior to getting serious about this. And then when I started getting serious about money flows freely and easily, that's all I said, period. I started tithing. I started doing all these things, visualizing. You know what? I went to 6 figures and 7 figures. That's not even that much. But what I did was I unleashed the power that was within me. And I took down the part that was holding it all in place, which is the ego, the barrier. And so as you begin to do this, the terror barrier is going to show up. That's the walls, okay? That's when you start to get to the limit, they're going to be like, whoa, you're not going anywhere. Negativity will show up. Something will happen in your external world, and you'll feel it inside. It's designed to keep you that way. For some people, it's, while somebody in my family got really sick, I lost track of my focus. Sometimes it's as bad as like, oh my goodness, like I got in a car accident. So, I'm telling you, the ego is very cunning. Your world outside of you is not real. You're creating it. Okay? Now the ego knows how to keep you in a box through sin. Remember, sin is fear first, then confusion, then lack of trust. Well, fear is going to be the first step that your ego stepped in to try to stop you. So what do? You do the ABC break process immediately. You do the ABC break process immediately. And you do it again immediately as this ego starts to try to trip you up. And then when you're in the solution consciousness, boom, boom, fire off those words, fire those words, and proceed. Proceed moving in the direction. And as you go to bed, carry that vision with your favorite music and pour that blessing forth with your vibration, because that's a seed. What you put out comes back. You're putting that seed out into the universe. You're sending ripples into the universe, ripples of vibration. And guess what? You practice, and then it becomes your dominant state. And then you start to live from that. And you'll start to witness it all around you. People will show up, new people, and they will match your vibration that you're putting forth. Okay? You can do this with love. You can do it with anything. You want a lover in your life? You want somebody like the ultimate lover in your life? I've done it for that too. Very simple. I'll give you a quick little story. Someone I met before I met Sabrina. I met someone who I think to this day was literally an angel. And I'll be humble. I'll tell you truth about what happened there. So back at that time, I had not yet overcome the eating disorder I had yet. I had an eating disorder from age 19 to age 24 and a half. Okay, 5 years of eating disorders. And so at the time, I had the same problem going on. So I started to use, I remembered what I did when I was younger, when I was 12. I remembered this. So I started to do this, and I started to really project at night when I was going to sleep, that I had love. I had this perfect love in my life. Now, I worked third shift at a health club. I worked from 11 in the evening till 7 in the morning. So you can imagine that I was kind of a zombie. I didn't get out much during the day. So it was going to be kind of hard for me to get out and meet somebody, other than the people that come in at night. These people that come in at night are kind of like, no offense, but they're working different hours too. And anyway, I just kept pouring forth that vision at night when I'd go to bed. I'd listen to the trance music. I always used trance music because it somehow got me into that trance that I created. Well, to make a long story short, one night this girl walks in the health club, and she walks in and she's smiling and she's so full of energy. And I looked at her and I'm like, wow. And instantly I felt that all of the energy I'd been putting out just came back to me. I felt when she smiled, all that energy just showed up. I knew it was a vibrational match. I knew it the minute I saw her. And then she ended up talking to me at the front desk. She came in at, I think, 12:45 in the evening. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. She was still talking to me at the desk. Well, we ended up dating. And she brought me into her parents' place, and I met her folks, and they let me stay there for a while. I got over the eating disorder there. I completely got over it. Love cured. Love heals. Love got me to the place where I was ready to finally let it go. And then pure awareness dissolved it. I had raised my consciousness during that time. But you see, I created that love. That was an outpicturing of me. I created that. Take ownership of everything you're creating. Take ownership. Start to program consciously. Make it worth it. You're worth it. Don't live by default. Stop doing that. You can't do that anymore because there are too many messages coming at you to keep you suppressed. Boof. Status quo is catastrophic. You must be proactive. You have to take the steering wheel. The steering wheel is not reasoning. The steering wheel is your words, your imagination, and coming from solution consciousness, showing up in the world, because everything is a seed. Everything that you get in life is based on the seeds you plant. Seed time, harvest time.
I'm Chris with Complete Essentials. Do you want to feel your best every day? Not sure what vitamins or supplements to use? Minerals are the currency of life. Minerals are the most important fuel our bodies require. Without minerals, vitamins cannot work. Shockingly, most people are deficient because our food supply lacks what we need. Discover the fuel your body needs to get moving again and reap the life-changing benefits. Our free Mineral Secrets course, Monotomia, is the answer. Health means everything, so go to monotomia.com and get the info now.
So, what seeds am I speaking? Constantly. Because what you speak is what you're creating. How am I showing up in the world? I don't know. The other day, I decided I'm going to get serious about this. I'm going to throw out all of my wardrobe that I don't like anymore. I started to wear my nice stuff because I realized I have all of these nice clothes, and I've been dressing like a pauper for years. I've been dressing like I, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought, well, I could, it's not like I need to impress anybody. I've got money. I'm fine. But this is the thing. That's not who I want to be in the world. Like, I look at the people I admire, and they don't dress like that. And I thought, well, maybe I should just dress a little nicer. So I made a choice. That's step number one. Make a decision. Who are you going to be? Decide who you're going to be. Then program it in, dial it in, speak the words, carry the vibration, program the intent at night. Do it for a short time, 2 to 3 weeks of doing this consistently. You will set forth a vibration in motion so powerful that it will be the wind behind your sails that carries you all the way to the finish line. And then get serious and come to the Spiritual Millionaire Workshop, and we'll put this together into a daily recipe for you and give you the business training on the back end that'll show you how to create your dream life on all areas. You can do it without the workshop, absolutely. But if you're going to do it, you might as well go all the way. That's the way I look at it. And that's the way I want to leave that with you. I want to leave the transmission at that. I hope you got some value out of this. I am only telling you to do what I do, what I know works. I don't mess around with stuff that's theory. I don't sit and I've done that. I've spent hundreds of thousands studying people, modeling people, learning from the best people I could afford. I've had the money to do it. I've flown all over the world to meet people. You know, I've done these things. Sometimes it's so simple that all that other stuff is just designed to part you from your money. I mean, realistically, you know, God is the best investment you can ever have, putting God first in your life. The second best investment is to take ownership of your life and to put you in charge. So with that, take care and God bless.